Hi, I'm Jessica Schellinger, and today I'm gonna talk about someone who is meaningful in my life who has passed away last year. His death anniversary is actually almost coming up, and today I'm going to talk about my cat named Porto. Anyways, I met Porto at Dogs and Cats Forever Animal Rescue on July 22nd, 2112. We decided to go to the room in the front very last, and a big gray fluffy cat plopped onto my lap, and he just started purring. He was the most, oh my god, he was such an amazing cat. And guess who that gray cat was? Porto. And I fell in love. So after several times of visiting Porto, my mom and my dad decided to talk about whether or not to adopt Porto. And the best news had occurred to me that my dad had said yes, and so did my mom. So a couple weeks later, we brought Porto home. Porto was so happy that I took him home. And then eventually middle school came along, which was the time I was severely bullied. Some days I would come home crying, and Porto would run up to me and just sit on my lap to cheer me up. He was always there for me through my hardest. I would just come home like, Porto, I missed you so much. And he would come running up to me, and I would pick him up and give him the biggest hug. And I would give him a little kiss on the head. And then sophomore year came along, which was last year, and which means that was also the year Porto passed away. There was one day at the end of April where Porto wandered off to a neighbor's house, and he was missing all day. Mom was worried, and she was like, oh no, where's Porto? Where did he go? And I didn't think anything of it because I thought, like, hey, he was kind of getting a little healthier. But then, like, a couple hours later, the neighbor called us and said, hey, we found your cat. He's at my place, and he doesn't look too well. We went over to the neighbor's house, and sure enough, Porto was there, like, half asleep, and I decided to pick him up and give him a hug, and his bladder just went off on me. So that's why my mom decided to take him to the emergency vet the next day. We brought him in, and we couldn't be there whenever they would run the tests unless we waited, of course. So they said, all right, we'll call you whenever we're done with these tests. So me and my mom ran a couple errands, and my mom told me, I don't think he's gonna make it. An hour or two later, the vets called back, and they said, yeah, he's not gonna make it. Come in to say your last goodbyes. We were placed into this room, which had a coffee table with a tissue box on top, and there were a lot of paintings with, like, dog and cat angels and all these, like, depressing quotes. And I was crying even louder just because they were there. Then a couple minutes later, they brought Porto back in, and I was bursting with tears. They gave me like 10 or so minutes to give him his last hugs and goodbyes while he was still awake. And then, just like that, he was euthanized and put down, and I was just heartbroken. And yeah, things are really not the same without you, Porto. I miss you so much. I can't believe it's been almost a year. And I miss you with all my heart. And I wish I could have you back, but I can't because you're gone, and it's not easy without you. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you didn't get too emotional over this story, but yeah, I would like to definitely tell Porto up in heaven, thank you for always being there for me through my ups and downs, and I truly miss you with all my heart.